Hello and welcome to The 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the tinny speakers of a canary yellow Walkman. And in the heart of rock and roll, Cleveland, Ohio, you got Keith Marsteller here, and joining me as always from beautiful Seattle, it's the creator of The 80sist. He's my bro. He's my co-host. It's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Keith, thank you for being here today.
Sure, man. Yeah, it's a podcast, you know.
My friends, we are gathered today to say farewell to our friend Kim Wilde. Kim was a true artist whose love for music...
Sorry, what the hell are you doing? What are you talking about, man? What's going on?
It's the funeral, Keith.
The funeral? What are we talking? What?
Yeah, Keith. Kim Wilde is about to be killed by Eurythmics, so I thought it would be appropriate to have a funeral for her.
Jesus Christ, man.
Keith.
Yeah.
Please, don't bring Christ into it because Kim requested a secular funeral.
Okay, well, I'll respect her wishes then. And
thank you.
And can I say holy hell? No, that's holy is...
No.
Yeah.
You can say Gesundheit.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That's better.
Vaguely. Yeah.
Well, it's weird to wish good health to someone who's dead, but I'll do it anyway. Gesundheit,
yeah.
Kim. Gesundheit.
Good health in the afterlife.
In the afterlife. Well, that was a great bit, Joe.
Don't lie. Don't lie to me. That bitch sucked.
Welcome back.
We've said before, they ain't all gems.
Few are gems. I mean, especially fewer of the closing bits are gems. But I think the most popular closing we've had is the one where I just sit and laugh for 2 minutes at the Kool-Aid bit.
Probably.
Oh man. So
but have we gotten any comments where people are just like, hey, just stop doing the bits?
Stop doing the bits, please. Just talk about the music. No one has said it yet. Maybe if we call them out, they'll say whether they like the bits or would wish they would go away.
Look, we're not fishing for compliments, folks. Not to blow smoke up our asses about the bits.
No, I got enough smoke up there. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to the 80sist, friends. And
welcome back.
We're here to talk about music for the 46th time.
That's a lot.
And we will do so today while we finish up our Foreigners
Without Foreigner
region second round. We're going to finish up the last 2 second round matchups and shove 2 more songs into the third round, okay?
Woohoo!
And so while we do that, as we want to get started, Joe, who once said, it's a matchup, why don't you give me a matchup here?
Here's a matchup for you. Number 3 seed 99 Luftballons versus number 11 She Blinded Me with Science. That's our matchup today.
That's one hell of a matchup.
Indeed.
Well, let's take a look at how they got here. Well, our number 3 seed 99 Luftballons by Nena beat down country adjacent Falco's 14 seed Der Kommissar 85-15, an absolute shellacking. However you would say that in German, I'm not sure.
Songenschneing.
There you go. Thank you. It's good to have a native German speaker on the podcast. Thanks.
That's what I do. Meanwhile, across town, number 11, She Blinded Me with Science, edged out Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners in an upset 58-42%.
Wow. Okay, so we do have a large seed disparity here, 3 versus 11. And, well, once again, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and try to not throw my shoulder out of place, patting myself on the back, and you should do the same. Because how did we vote? There, thank you for doing that.
Here's how we voted.
Yeah.
We both voted for 99 Luftballons.
Which one?
What?
Yes.
That's right. We backed a winner.
And we both voted for She Blinded Me with Science, which also won. So it looks like we know a little bit more about music than some of you out there, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because it's our show.
Oh,
That's
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
we've got a couple of great tunes. We're going to go ahead and do our thing and play a little bit just so you can hear them back to back. That's why we're still doing this.
That's right.
We know you know the songs, but sometimes it pays to hear them right next to each other. So,
Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht grad an mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons und dass sowas von sowas kommt.
love that bass.
99 Luftballons, ihrem Weg zum Horizont hielt man für UFOs aus dem All. Warum schickte ein General Fliegerstaffeln hinterher? Alarm zu geben, wenn's so wär. Dabei waren dort am Horizont 99 Luftballons.
All right, that's there we go. All right, so that's you know, a good healthy dose of 99 Luftballons,
That's 2 scoops.
and let's throw it right in with let's try for an equal amount of this. She Blinded Me with Science. Thomas Dolby. All right. Well, there you go. That's
All right.
That's She Blinded Me with Science. Let's jump
is.
right in. And Joe, how do you feel about 99 Luftballons?
I like that song a lot. I love it. How about you?
Yeah, same here. It just stuck in the old noggin from back then. Yeah, that's it's a classic first year of my radio song. So yeah, heard the shit out of that song.
What about She Blinded Me with Science?
Well, I mean, I dig all the electronic stuff that's going on there. They're doing pitch correction on voices. They're doing flanging. They're doing, you know, he's got probably 8 different synths going. You got that real scientist yell. I love it.
All right.
But it is, it is a novelty song, so it's only so listenable. But what about you? How do you come out?
That's true. I feel the same. I mean, over the course of our work for the show, I listen to the song a lot, and I listen to the song Probably enough that I was like, I'm good for a while. but I'm listening to it just now.
Yeah.
I was rocking out.
Right. Same. So will this be the end of the road for the novelty song, or will it rise up and take down a seed 8 better than it? Let's get into it. Joe.
All right.
I had one note. In the song, in the episode for She Blinded Me with Science, the first time around, you were like, what field of science is he talking about? And if you listen, I think at one point he says alien biology, and in another verse he says feminine geometry. So, which would be more of a mathematical field, that second one, but...
okay, all right.
So, I didn't write down exactly when it was, or I would needle drop it for you.
No, I know those words are in there. I recognize them.
Yeah, so maybe those are the fields of science. I mean, that she blinded him with feminine geometry. I can see that. I mean, it's a kind of a crude way of saying something, but yeah, all right. Anyway, that does nothing to do with how 80s the song is. It's just a note.
All right.
But go ahead. What do you want to talk about with these two, man?
Well, the thing is, I think they both have so much to recommend them as 80s songs. They're both loaded down with synth.
Yeah.
I mean, She Blinded Me with Science probably has more. It's like a buffet of synth.
I feel like this is going to be kind of a classic battle from one of the things you first said with I Melt With You, in that 99 Luftballons maybe has just the right amount of it, a more tasteful amount of it. And, like a person who goes to the buffet and takes a modest amount of food and enjoys it versus that glutton who just heaps the plate all the way over so stuff's falling off the sides and then goes back for another plateful.
So you could say glutton, or you could say bargain hunter.
Bargain hunter, that's right.
That's right. The person who knows, hey, I'm going to get my money's worth at this buffet.
They didn't eat for a week, kind of prepping for this, yeah.
Right. Maybe they've got some bags sewn into their pockets.
And
so
they're
just
slip
some rolls in there.
Or maybe they're slipping chicken wings under their bodily rolls. It's possible.
Right. They might be lifting up their dirty Santa beard and putting a whole side of salmon
under that
in there.
Yeah,
that, and then eating it on a bus. What if they did that?
That sounds like something that may have happened in real life to you. Is that something that...
No, dude, it's from Trading Places.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All right.
You have not seen Trading Places in far too long.
Far too long. You're right. Yeah.
It's an annual Christmas viewing, Keith.
All right. You know what? I'm going to start joining you in that this year because it's probably been 10 or more years since I've viewed that. So, yeah. So, hey, great 80s
holds up
reference.
perfectly well. There's nothing objectionable in it at all.
Sounds about
Not
right.
at all. Yeah.
Nothing
all right,
at all.
So anyway, the songs.
Yeah. So 99 Luftballons has got, I mean, just absolutely kind of, they stand the test of time. This riff or this, where is it? This. Like that bit is just, and that funky bass just absolutely kills.
Yeah.
That's, I'm going to go ahead and say that is iconic, Joe.
I agree. And it's iconic for all the reasons that we have talked about before.
Yeah.
We talked about all the stuff that made it, made it a standout in 80s music. The Cold War doom and gloom, even if they didn't mean it, even if they weren't trying to be a protest song, that paranoia about nuclear annihilation
is
in there.
Yeah. The balloons start World War III, whether they meant it as a protest or not. It's in the back of their head that World War III could be coming.
And that's super 80s.
And super 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole, I really enjoyed the bit where Dolby talked about wanting to be an 80s pop star, but they were all much more handsome and suave, and he was balding and a nerd. And so he tried to comparatively look cool by bringing this old scientist on. And
yeah,
you know, it's so cool though, that this song. But
I in our last episode, I said that Electric Avenue stuck in my head more than any other song from 1982. But this is a real close second.
Yeah,
you know, this has also just been playing periodically in my head. Oh, for 42 years.
I mean, I definitely. I mean, some of these, like some of these, just even like little things like that. Boop, boop, boop.
Yep.
You know, like I'll find myself making those noises.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, just so many bits. Yeah.
I gotta say, if you go into a room of Gen Xers, and you shout, "She blinded me," 98% of them are gonna come back at you with science,
right? Or if
and then the 2% who don't are a bunch of assholes we don't want to know.
Or if you had a keyboard and you went, you know, and you played that one bit, they would yell back science, you know,
right?
Like, yeah. So it does, yeah. People know this song. People have an affection for this song, but but I don't know if, you know, people don't necessarily take it seriously. And maybe they shouldn't.
That's true.
As kind of, we branded it as a novelty song. But does that matter? Is it less 80s for being a novelty song? This is not a novelty
song in the way that Flying Purple People Eater or Disco Duck
or Pac-Man Fever.
Right. This is not that type of novelty song.
Yeah.
You know.
That's fair. So yeah, this is a tough call. Which way to go, because you know I like going over the top with synthesizer type stuff, but 99 Luftballons, especially excellent, well-constructed song, but also has tons of experiential vibes for me. I don't know. Well, do you have any other things you want to say before we render a quick verdict on this one?
I want to say that this is another one that I do not know what I'm going to say even now.
Even, how about now?
Nope.
Yep. Imagine when we get down to those final matchups, how we're just going to sit here and stare at each other, waiting for the other guy to make a choice. But
right. It's your turn to go first on this.
It's my turn to go first, and so I will boldly strike out in favor of over-synthesizing, and I will choose Thomas Dolby, She Blinded Me with Science, as the more 80s song. I mean, I might not have to ever say this again because it should be understood, by a hair.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Right up until you said the T in Thomas Dolby, I was my mind was not made up. But once you said T, I was like, yeah, I'm going with 99 Luftballons.
All right, we've split once again.
We have split.
And there's nothing wrong with that, because if Nena wins, I'll be like, cool. That's a great song. That is a very, very 80s song. And
I will say the exact same thing if Thomas Dolby wins.
Yeah, so
there you have it.
Now, there will be much more folks with much more definite opinions on this than our kind of wishy-washy, I like both songs.
I'm sure, yeah.
People will definitely dress us down for some reason about which one is. Like, Joe, you're an idiot. It's Thomas Dolby. Like, I would love to see some of that, but
I'm sure we'll get it from both sides.
We almost by definition will now, since we split.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. All right, so bring us into the next, basically, torture fest where we have to pick one of these.
All right, so our next matchup is number 2 seed Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics versus number 7 Kids in America by one Kim Wilde.
Well, let's see how these two got here. Well, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This walloped Karma Chameleon by Culture Club 80-20. And it wasn't close. It was perhaps revenge for not getting the Best New Artist Grammy Award. Maybe they'll, if I could contact Annie and Dave and see if they feel any better now about that. I don't know. Probably not. But they did advance in our brackets, at least.
I did say in the last episode, and I mean it, for going up against Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, I think 20% is respectable, and I think Boy George can hold his head high.
Yeah, he really can.
Yeah, if he's still alive.
I'm pretty sure he's... Right? Oh, yeah.
And then he can hold his head up. Okay. Meanwhile, Kids in America by Kim Wilde beat number 10, Major Tom, parentheses, Coming Home, handily 65% to 35%.
That was a shocking beatdown for me. I did not see that coming. I thought the...
Was that a German joke?
No. Was it?
No, okay.
No. Did it sound like one?
Yeah, I mean, Peter Schilling's German, and you're talking about Nazi. So. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I did. That was unintentional. Okay. Oh my gosh.
So,
that's
for
hilarious.
our German listeners, Keith hates you.
I did not. Okay, if I had said it, I did not see that coming. Anyway, I really didn't intend that. But let's see how we voted on this. And
how did we vote, Keith?
Well, it's no huge surprise that we both voted for number 2 seed, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This over the Culture Club song. Not a huge surprise there. And
well, that makes sense for us. And then on the second show there, I voted for Kids in America, while you voted for Major Tom, Coming Home.
Yeah, wow, that soaring chorus just, it really sells it for me. But again, I'm going to point out we had 8 votes to play with. 7 of them were correct. This time I was the guy that missed one of the votes. But, I mean, 7 out of 8 is pretty solid prognostication.
We have our finger on the pulse of America's late middle-aged people.
We really do. So I'm happy about that. All right. Well, with that in mind now, we can listen to some really good songs here. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Eurythmics. This is one of those weird songs that has the chorus at the beginning, right? So I'll let it go. All right, there you go. That's Sweet Dreams, and let's get right to Kids in America. That traffic and helicopter synth there is sweet.
I sit here alone and I wonder why. Friday night and everyone's moving. I can feel the heat, but it's soothing, heading down. I search for the beat in this steady town. Downtown, the young ones are going. Downtown, the young
Gonna give her a little more. All right, that is. We got a couple of. Well, let's get right to it. Do you like these songs, Joe? Sweet Dreams.
I love Sweet Dreams so much. How about you?
Top tier 80s song for me, for sure. It's in that upper
Absolutely.
echelon. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, what about Kids in America?
Man, Kids in America has got some great stuff in it. Yeah, the flanged drum effect is, get me a little bit excited over here, Joe. I was like really getting into it. Overall, though, super cool song, I think. How about you?
I concur wholeheartedly. I love that song.
Yeah. So this is maybe the toughest choice we've had yet. You may disagree, but this is I don't know how to differentiate these two really, but we'll talk about it and then we'll choose one each, I guess, because we can't choose two.
We will. That's true.
This is your fault for coming up with this format.
Well, anything that's worth doing is hard. No, that's not how it.
Something.
Anyway,
anything.
Point is.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. What I don't know, because getting ready for this show today, this episode, I put very little work into this matchup.
Yeah.
Listening to these songs back to back, I should have put in more work. Because it's not as cut and dry as I had thought coming in. For Sweet Dreams, what I wrote down was it's so 80s that I don't need to put forth any argument. it's just undeniably an 80s classic.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. What do you
listen
think?
to it? Yeah, man, it's. When we started this show, when I saw this show written down, my first thought was we play the two songs. I say Sweet Dreams, you say Sweet Dreams, we roll credits. It's like Sweet Dreams, Sweet Dreams. All right, well, thanks for joining us. But
that's it.
But going back and listening to Kids in America, which yes, I just voted against it in the previous round. But here it is, so I need to give it a fair hearing. And man, that is, the whoas and all that synth and the traffic synth at the start, and like the flanged drums coming through the whole. It's got a great groove. She's got a good voice. I still don't understand why British people wrote a song saying we're the kids in America. Fair enough.
They wanted to be us. That's it,
right. And but then Sweet Dreams and the irony of Annie kind of writing these lyrics when she hears Dave come up with this tune, and she's about to give up, and then she writes this thing, kind of self-deprecating, talking about her sweet dreams, which everything's falling apart, and then it comes true, right? But wow, what a song! Both great songs.
Indeed, to the point where I'm going back to something we've talked about in previous shows, which is the video.
Right.
And the video for Sweet Dreams is super 80s and super.
Now that's a great
iconic
point. The Kids in America video lacks. It's people performing on a soundstage kind of a deal,
Right. And listen, I mean, the video for me isn't the most important thing, but these songs have so much going for them each.
We have to find places to nitpick, essentially, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, I do love the story of Kids in America that we learned in that episode with the brother kind of getting passed over for his sister to be the star, and instead of being a brooding little bitch, he went home and wrote the song for her, and the dad jumps in and writes the lyrics, and
it's a great story.
It's great. Cool story. They both of these songs have great stories.
But
yeah,
as we discussed in the Sweet Dreams episode, Annie Lennox herself is an iconic 80s figure.
And Kim Wilde, as popular as she was with her few hits, she was not doing what Annie Lennox was doing.
Did not have the impact on the decade that Annie Lennox had.
That's a fair statement. Like her whole look, the androgyny, the strong voice, the strong presence in the video.
I mean, again, it's not about which is the better song, but if we're gonna talk, we're picking nits here. So Annie Lennox's voice is heads and shoulders above Kim Wilde's voice.
It's more powerful. Kim Wilde's voice is like total power pop. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
No. Great voice. I love the song. I like Kim Wilde.
But
again, we're going over this with a fine-tooth comb.
Which we are, yeah.
And so, I don't know. Which is a more 80s voice? A super unique, intense voice, or a more of a poppy voice? I don't know.
That's fair, because if you put Kids in America in a lineup, or her voice in a lineup with some of the other 80s pop singers, like maybe even a Debbie Gibson or something,
right?
Maybe no one would be able to tell which one is which, or fewer people. Then if you played Annie Lennox, they'd be like, well, that's very clearly Eurythmics, so
right.
So there is that excellent argument that she is much more of an 80s icon, for sure. That's not even there's not an argument to be made against that point. So
there's also and I guess I'm looking for reasons to vote for Sweet Dreams.
Sure.
The fact that we both said in these episodes, we both said that Kids in America wasn't as big at the time for us.
Right. You did say that in choosing this one over Major Tom, that Kids in America kind of represented Gen X more than Coming Home.
It did.
But you probably couldn't say that of these two songs, that Kids in America was more Gen X representative.
Probably not.
Yeah. However, there's still going to be lots of, I can see a couple arguments for specific things technically that I find very 80s about Kids in America.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it is overwhelming for me, the case in favor of Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. And I think I'm left with really no choice but to vote in favor of Eurythmics here. I feel like you might be heading down that path.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
This is one of those where I really wish that Kids in America was up against a weaker song.
Yeah. And
because I like this song so much, and it is super 80s.
But I'm going to say something like what you said earlier about Karma Chameleon getting 20% against this song. Mm-hmm. Kids in America made me stop and think, is this more 80s?
Yeah.
And now it turns out the verdict for me is no, it isn't.
Right.
But at least it made me stop and think. There are a lot of songs that we've gone through that I would not have even considered it.
No.
Eddie Murphy, I'm looking at you here, right? So.
Yeah. But.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people out there who maybe disagree.
Look. Kim Wilde. This song won in a late surge, and there are a lot of folks that love this song, and so I think it's got a chance to do more than the 20% that Karma Chameleon did. Anyway, let's find out.
We will see, and we'll see because people are going to vote for this, and they're going to go to our Substack to do that, which is the80sist.substack.com. You can find us on Facebook, the 80sist podcast. You can find us on Threads at the_80s_EST, or you can email us, the80sist@gmail.com.
Find us wherever podcasts are bought, sold, and processed, but specifically Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Great places to listen other than sitting on a computer and listening on your browser. I mean, go ahead if you want to listen there, but there are more convenient ways to get us on your phone, for instance. Find us on Spotify and all those places at the 80s-est. And
while you're there, you can like us and subscribe to us and help more people find us.
And here's a note, because I saw this happen in real time with a friend this weekend. Remember, with all of these second round matchups, that there are going to be 2 voting polls in each post. So if you're on your phone, you might only see the first one and you click vote and you leave. There's a second one. Scroll down. There's going to be 2 of these. Like in this case, there's going to be Sweet Dreams versus Kids in America, and there's going to be 99 Luftballons and She Blinded Me with Science, all on the same show. So just be cognizant of that.
If you haven't voted for Sweet Dreams, stay in line.
Yes. So please subscribe, do all the cool things, and we'd love to hear from you. Of course, comments on the Substack have been great. Like we've formed a great community there. So
we have.
That's been a lot of fun.
They're good people.
That's right. Well, Joe, that's going to be all for today's show, but I would ask all of you to join us again next time on the 80sist. When we're going to return, Joe, we're coming back on Monday for the movie region semifinal. That's right. The voting will be
semi-final.
That's right. The voting for the movies region are in, and we're going to, narrow it down even further, but we're down to essentially the final 4 in the movie region. So that's going to get real hot.
Getting serious.
Yeah. Well, until then, on behalf of Joe, this has been Keith saying, you know what, Joe? Speaking of sweet dreams that you and I seem unable to resist, don't you just love a really good, creamy Nestle's white chocolate?
No, dude. White chocolate is terrible. It's the Rockwell of candy.
Sweet dreams you can't resist. Nestles.
Dude, what are you doing? White chocolate tastes like butter that's been rolled in mediocrity and soiled undergarments.
A dream as sweet as this. Nestles.
I don't like white chocolate, but I am mesmerized by your hauntingly dreamy falsetto.
Creamy white.
Go on.
Dreamy white.
Okay, now white chocolate does sound good.
Nestle's makes the very best. Nestles.
I don't know how this is working, but I have to run to the store to get some. I'll see you next show, Keith, okay? All right, God damn you, Nestle's, for making the very best white chocolate in the world.
Sweet dreams you can